observation of today's situation in the world, the humanity today, versus the war that you were born into?
I cannot speak for the people that was my age when the war started. I think it was quite dramatic. I was not aware enough when I was young to know how dramatic was the German war against the world. And it was two blocks, very clear. The Nazi and the not Nazi, the liberal. Russia was kind of in between as usual, but the English, the Russian, and the European was kind of united. Today, it's a little bit different. I think the young people that are in Ukraine is hell. It's like me when I was even more worse, when I was born in Algeria, because it's not right that Russia, such a strong country, bomb a little country like Ukraine, we have to borrow weapons to defend itself. So it's a dramatic moment. I think the sky is really closing down now for a while, but it's a test, I think, from the spiritual world. There is a breathing in and out of opening and closing the sky. So it's a little bit hard for people that are between 30 and 40, that they are in a moment where it's not so easy. At the same time, there is a big technological progress that allowed us to record and film fantastic things and technology, computer. But at the same time, on the back of their head, this new generation that you belong to, it's a little bit not very secure and shaking of what is the next step. If it's in America, which doesn't show the right sound of bell to the world, with all this shooting that happened in all the schools, and this weapon story that everybody, you don't need, when you open a bank account, you need to have a checkup and fill out a form. And they check you from A to Z if you can open a bank account. If you want to buy a rifle that killed the whole army, they don't ask you anything. Just your ID, and then you buy a gun. So this is not a country that shows the right way. So we are a little bit in danger of losing the balance here, but it seems to be in the plan of the development of the humanity to go through this test. When you arrive to an extreme, you have to stop and start something new. So some big turmoil is going still to happen until the peace can take place. And that's why now, more than ever, entity like the Tama-Do Academy, the Sound Color Movement, is very important to give hope to the people, not only hope of the divine landing on their roof or in the top of their head, but concretely help people that suffer to strengthen their body, their aura, and their mind, and their central axis spiritual, to say, okay, we are in a bad time, but we have to continue our trajectory to help ourselves and to help the world and the people that don't know. We cannot be continuing to be like a tourist. Say, oh yeah, now I'm going to experience the coral in South Arabia, and I'm going to go to Peru. So the world needs something else here. Okay, you can take a break and have fun a little bit. We all need to breathe from the pressure, but we have to remember, if we incarn in this kind of difficult moment, that means we have a mission here. The people that are conscious and that are between 20, 30, and 40, 42, they have a mission. Why they incarn now? They did not incarn to absolutely earn money and find the best beautiful girl in the world or the best man in the world and go to the place that is nice. They have to lead back and say, okay, why did I incarnate now? Is it a graceful time? Is the sky open? No, there is bombing everywhere. Everybody is fighting. There is no... It was never in the history more murder and killing as much in America than in France. People killing their wife because of COVID, because they cannot stand to be at home. Everybody is kind of a wild world, suddenly, worse than Middle Age, almost. People gang in south of France attacking police stations. We never saw that before, even during the war. So there is something wrong here, and that's alarm should ring the alarm bell to people to say why we incarnate this moment, what are we supposed to do? We are in the power of our age. We are strong. What shall we do? What our mission is? And for me, the answer is clear. They cannot fit all in Tama-Do Academy because we have 500 people. I cannot teach 500 people. And after 20 people, you cannot hear me, but they should go in groups to learn things that can help people and strengthen the people. Help people is to have the people being aware of what is a practice, what is Qigong, Tao Yin Fa, what is breathing, what is the power of sound, what is the power of color, how we put that together for the health, how we put that together to learn to meditate and pray in a concentrated goal that is efficient to help ourselves and the people that don't know anything and don't even know how to ask how to help themselves and others. That's when we are in a period where the young people that encounter today, they are born and they have a mission. Otherwise, they will not be born. Who wants to be born in the middle of the war? And it's not covering the whole world, but it's the peace lasts. It's like a match. It's enough of a little bavure, comme on dit bavure. You slide a little bit and the Korean guy, crazy, who exists only if he shoots a bomb so he can speak. If we speak about him, he's still alive, and then when he don't shoot a bomb to South Korea, he doesn't exist. So what kind of crazy guy is that? China is watching, is a bit more smart than Russia. They try to temper the old expansion dynasty of the ancient China, of the emperor, all that. But the balance of the world is really fragile. And any little mistake can erase everything from the surface of the planet because the whole world will be upside down. So we have the chance and we have the lucky time to be aware of it and to say, if we are born in this time, we obviously came to put our power to help to a better world. If you are born at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, you say, oh, this is fantastic. Everything is open. When I was the age of Benza in Paris, I was reading poetry, dreaming, creating things, and I didn't have the burden of fighting for my life here and there. No gang guy put a gun on my throat to stole my money, and it was no war in the world. Everything was flourishing. It was always good and bad in the world. That's, you know, you need a balance. Day and night. There's the people that live in the night, the people that live in the day. But it was an opening of the spiritual realm that gave birth to things like our academy and other groups in the world that flourish and create wonderful things. And now it's not the case. Now, with this Google thing, everybody steals from the website what they can, and they build a new website that's completely artificial, and you don't know what is right, what is wrong. It's hard to recognize the authenticity and the not authentic. So it's a jungle, more than ever, because internet. At least before, you have to show white gloves to the door so they know if you are a wolf or a sheep. Today, you can have any skin of a sheep, but inside you are a wolf and kill everybody because everything is permitted. The more important thing is to be clear when you decide to incarnate, to honor this incarnation, and it's legitimate, like the game and the last book of Terres, why you was born for. What is your gate? The eighth choice. Are you a tourist? Did we encounter to be a tourist today? In 2022, 23, 24, 2030? It doesn't make any sense. How can you be a tourist when every year there is a plane shoot down and you lost your luggage? We did not went to Paris in October because it was 5,000 suitcases lost in Orly and Charles de Gaulle. And we have so many important materials, tuning fork and pen light, we could not carry that and risk to lose everything. It never happened before. So we say, okay, well, the world is reducing. Okay, we don't go to Paris. And then, you know, we bit by bit, we feel that the door are closing because it's not the door physical that closes, because the sky is going, okay, we pull the curtain a little bit, you will be in the dark. The ones that go to the light continue, because cyclically, when we go to the extreme of the feast, the other part of the breath is to open up. So the sky will open up again, but when? So we have to prepare that. We have to prepare for the next opening. And it will happen in your lifetime. If you are all are around 30, it will happen, of course. You did not came only to suffer or be obliged to fight for this or that, be the best, otherwise you collapse or you crawl under debt and you want to fight for money, you want to fight for this. What is the meaning of that? And the meaning is to remember that we are also a spiritual being and we encounter to have a mission and we have to transmit this knowledge. And people are thirsty for that. The only difficulty, they are drawn with internet to a million distracting things that not having the same intention that Tama-Do Academy has. And they want you to take your money, but they are kind of charlatan. They're copying everything. And Tama-Do Academy is exposed completely how many people took everything. They vandalized the sound color movement teaching from all sides. So we don't care because we know that we have a mission and we continue our work slowly, and when it's reduced, it reduces. When it's open, it's open. But the guidance of the young people is to continue to practice what they practice and to be aware that if they practice is to consolidate physical, etheric, astral, mental, causal, and spiritual body. We go somewhere and we can transmit it. How can you transmit this knowledge? Only by talking? No, it's impossible. Talking is blah, blah, blah. How many thousands of psychologists and psychiatrists you have in the world? It doesn't change the world. It just empowers the mental activity, but they don't do anything to empower the practice, starting in the physical and mastering their own energy to lead to spirituality finally. And only this strength will help the world. it was always a minority. Even when the sky was open, it was always a minority in the world that practiced. So, and an even smaller minority that knew that they had a mission. And the people that did not know it was a mission, they stopped. They did not understand it was a mission to fulfill, to progress for themselves and for the world. So they stopped. And they become practically was where they stopped before. So you have to practice in a steady way, very bit by bit, and be cautious and be very concentrated on what's happening when I do this, what's happening when I do that. And just be concentrated and very simple, because then you join the force, the group, visible or invisible, of people that have a mission, and suddenly you become your own power. And you put yourself in service for the humanity. We have no other choice. Otherwise, why we will be incarnate now? When you are 80 or 81 like me, it's like having two lives in one, because I assist at the opening of the sky, closing of the sky, opening, closing, and now we are kind of in a closing phase. So I ask my guidance, they say, well, is the sky going to open again in my lifetime? Say, yes, of course. You just continue to do what you know to do and be concentrate and do what you have to do. We know, you are not alone, and the central axis is a guidance. And the guidance is very simple. It starts very steadily with one thing, another things, different level, like physical, etheric, astral, mental. Spiritual, right away doesn't mean anything, because you jump and there is nothing in between. You are in the void. It's a daily practice in a steady way, authenticity with your central axis, that can really influence the deep central axis of the person with who you live. Love is fantastic if it helps to empower this function of the spiritual axis. But they have to feel it. They have to come to it. Unfortunately, people always have to wait to be in an accident or sick or have a catastrophe in their family to become spiritual and finally do it.
Can you speak, and this is probably the last question, if somebody comes to you, for example, with an incurable disease?
Yeah, for the problem of the disease or the scary disease or the terminal disease, today I don't say that only meditation and prayer can heal it, but if you have the beginning of the right attitude, how you practice, you can counteract the diagnosis and eventually the disease. You can mild the pain, because if you have a central axis, spiritual central axis practice, they teach you to create a space for this divine axis to take place within yourself. You don't want to only be a grenouille de bénitier, a frog of holy water in the church, and say, please God, take me out of that. You have to work for that. And so you have to, once you have the right practice, like I'm sorry to talk about Tama-Do Academy, but this is what we do, and this is what cures quite few people since 50 years. and prolongate life of certain people. If you don't have a practice, you have to have a practice, the first things. Because you open space for divine or spiritual energy to come in the physicality and all what is disturbed inside. And then you don't have to deny the doctor, but you ally, you profit of anything. If you have a cancer, okay, the doctor to do that, okay, I try that, I try this, but I'm still practicing my Qigong, I still practicing meditation, I use the sound, the colon movement, and more than that, this practice opened me up. You open the space for the real divine entity, the one who can help you, the one who can maybe heal you or prolong your life to take place. If you are too much in the emotion of the personal problem and you want to get out of this, there is no way to do it. When you practice, you create a space inside of you that allows you to welcome more deeply with a breathing pattern change, the divine energy within your physical body. And when the divine takes place in your physical body, the space is created to help you to durate more or eventually to completely heal. And things happen, but until you experience it, you cannot feel it. So, blah blah psychology, mental and emotional doesn't help. The first thing that helps is action. Divine energy is action. God creates the light. Light, sun give birth to 5 elements, and then we could eat, we could breathe, we could look at color, and life started. Wildlife, gentle life, the phenomenon of the spray out of the civilization, animal and human, it's okay. We had to go through change, but you create a space in your practice for the divine energy really incarnate within yourself. And I already talked so many times about the Tanxian being the central axis of the physical body, give you the spiritual smile that rise up and lift you up and help you to continue to be who you are, a human being full of light, who came with a mission to help yourself and the humanity, and then you have a goal, you have a mission. When you have a divine mission, at the same time it's simple and complicated to apprehend. You cannot be wrong. Whatever happened is fine, but you have the joy of doing it right. And sometimes you live 30, 50, 60, 80, 92. Whatever you live is the time that you need to accomplish your mission, and then life continues. It's never ending. Nobody dies in the light. And that's why probably unconsciously the first message of my mother handing the candle and telling me, just look at the light. And you will not die of entanglement of your ganglia, you cannot breathe. You know, when you don't take care, you die in few hours. And the fear of the bombing. look at the light. And today, if I have to say something to somebody, I say just look at the light. Create a space for this light inside of you. You don't need to be sick. And just continue to practice and create a space for what you believe it is, the divine within yourself. From the Tanzien to the crown. And God bless everybody that do it.